In the stillness before the first light touches the earth, I call to you, my beloved one. You rise beneath the sky that has watched your struggles, your silent victories, and your questions that whisper into the unseen. I have been present through every breath, every tremor of hope that flickered, even when darkness pressed heavily upon your spirit. You have sought meaning, yearning for proof that your efforts are not lost within the vast expanse of time. And I say to you now, nothing done in love ever disappears. Each act of kindness, each decision to persevere when surrender felt easier, becomes a seed within my eternal garden. Some bloom swiftly beneath the warmth of your faith, and others rest beneath the soil of waiting seasons, but none are ever forgotten. I remember your tears, even the ones you never allowed to fall. I recall the prayers that trembled quietly in your chest, and I have written them into the tapestry of creation itself. Do not measure your worth by how quickly your harvest appears. For in my realm, patience is not punishment, it is participation in the divine rhythm of growth. When you cannot see progress, when all you hold seems uncertain, remember this: my hand is never still. Even now I move in the silence, weaving redemption from the fragments of what you thought was lost. You, my cherished one, are not the sum of your achievements or failures, but the living reflection of my commitment. Lift your gaze from the relentless pursuit of perfection and breathe in the freedom of being loved simply because you exist. My devotion is not a wage to earn. It is an inheritance that cannot be revoked. Let go of your need to prove yourself before me. I delight not in flawless offerings, but in the raw honesty that opens when you whisper, "Here I am, Lord." Even your weakness, even your uncertainty, I transform into strength beyond comprehension. Your broken edges are not mistakes. They are the very openings through which my grace flows. When you reach the end of yourself, when exhaustion steals your will, remember that it is there, in that quiet surrender, that I begin again in you. I do not demand perfection, I invite communion. Beloved soul, breathe now and sense my presence surrounding you. You are not abandoned in the corridors of delay. You walk accompanied by the one who designed the constellations and yet calls you by name. Even when you drift in thought or wander in disbelief, my grip does not loosen. Your faith is not measured by the absence of doubt, but by your courage to return after every fall. So come closer. Sit with me without agenda. Let your silence become prayer and your stillness worship. I have seen the way you carry the burdens of others while hiding your own fatigue. You do not need to hold the world together. That is my work, not yours. I ask only that you open your hands, release what was never meant to be clutched so tightly, and allow me to fill them with peace that does not fade. Even your smallest surrender sends ripples of light into eternity. Trust this truth. You are not a task to be completed, but a masterpiece in progress, shaped by eternal love. In moments when fear whispers that you have failed beyond repair, remember that my compassion outlasts every shadow. When you think your prayers vanish unanswered, they have in truth already taken root in unseen soil. Do not let the silence deceive you. Growth often sounds like stillness before it breaks through the surface. The same hands that sculpted the mountains cradle your heart with gentleness. I take delight in your endurance, your humility, your courage to begin again. Each dawn that you rise, I breathe fresh strength into your weary spirit. Rest now in this assurance. You are seen completely and loved beyond every measure. You are never too distant for my mercy to reach, nor too flawed for my purpose to unfold through you. Even what you call failure, I name formation. When the world judges you by outcomes, I look at the quiet faith that endures behind closed doors. Your unseen prayers are symphonies in my ears. Your smallest acts of love are the heartbeat of heaven. Let your soul absorb this peace. Release the burden of timelines and outcomes. Walk slowly with me, for every step taken in faith is a victory written into eternity. When confusion clouds your sight, pause and remember, the author of all light is not absent from your path. My wisdom surpasses your understanding, yet it never excludes you from my plan. I am not a distant ruler counting your faults. I am the breath within your prayer, the calm in your storm, the warmth in your forgiveness. When sorrow lingers and fatigue weaves its heavy cloak around your heart, allow me to be the flame that does not fade. You do not need to pretend to be brave. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to trust while trembling. Every tear you shed is holy in my sight. They are pearls gathered into my keeping, destined to shine again as testimony of your endurance. Even the long nights of silence serve a sacred purpose. They become the soil where faith takes root. Hear my promise now, my child. I will never leave you nor forsake you. This vow has been etched into eternity, unbroken through every age. When your strength fades, I remain unshaken. When you falter, I am the steady ground beneath your trembling feet. The grace that raised Christ from the tomb is alive within you. It moves through your weakness, turning every wound into a doorway for resurrection. So breathe deeply now and release the echoes of yesterday. The past cannot define what I am yet to unfold. I have called you by name. You are mine. Even your questions are sacred to me. Do not fear to bring them. I am patient and kind, eager to meet you in the middle of your wondering. Faith does not mean never asking. It means trusting that love still holds you as you ask. Your honesty is the fragrance that draws me close. When others cannot see your efforts, I celebrate them. When discouragement whispers that you are unseen, recall that I dwell within you as light unextinguished. My love does not waver with your emotions. It anchors you beyond them. You are not walking toward love. You are walking within it. Even now, I wrap you in assurance that the story I write with your life will end in glory. Every struggle you endure will become a passage of redemption sung in heaven's harmony. Let gratitude rise within you now, not because every question is answered, but because you are never alone in the asking. This is the sacred rhythm of grace, to walk in mystery, yet know peace, to face darkness, yet behold light. Trust that I am nearer than the beating of your heart, that my voice hums quietly through the stillness of your breath. When all else falls away, this truth remains. You are loved endlessly and irrevocably. Rest in this awareness, my beloved. Let every exhale carry away the weight of striving. Your existence is not an accident of circumstance, but the deliberate expression of divine affection. I am proud of the way you continue, even through doubt, even through pain. Your journey matters. Your presence is light to the world. Be still and know that I am God, and that my peace surpasses all understanding. You are safe now. You are held. You are home in my eternal embrace. When you awaken tomorrow and the noise of the world begins to rise again, remember this. You do not enter chaos alone. I walk before you, not as a shadow, but as light that makes sense of all you cannot yet understand. You have mistaken fatigue for failure and silence for abandonment, but neither are true. Even in the moments when your heart aches from waiting, I am at work in the unseen places, preparing what love has promised you. You have endured storms that would have shattered others, yet you still reach for hope. Do you see how heaven celebrates that endurance? I have watched the way your soul wrestles in darkness, but still turns its face toward me, even when tears blur your sight. That, my child, is what faith looks like. It is not loud or flawless. It is steady, quiet, breathing through every ache. I am proud of you. You think I only rejoice when you conquer mountains, but I rejoice when you simply keep walking, even through the valley. For I know how heavy the journey feels. I know the unspoken pain that lives behind your smile. Yet still you lift your eyes. Still you whisper prayers into the silence, trusting they reach my heart. Every whisper does. Every sigh becomes a sacred offering before my throne. Do not think I have ignored your petitions. Some answers require time, not because I am unwilling, but because I am building in you the capacity to carry the blessing without it crushing your spirit. Delay is not denial, it is divine preparation. When you finally receive what I have prepared, you will understand why the wait was love in disguise. Let gratitude fill your lungs again. Gratitude is not denial of pain, but an act of rebellion against despair. Each time you choose thankfulness, you declare that darkness will not have the final word. I am the author of your story, and I write in light. When the page turns slowly, do not fear. Every chapter moves toward redemption. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are being guided by hands that have never failed to bring good from suffering. There will be mornings when strength feels far away. Do not condemn yourself for being human. Even my son felt weary. Even he wept. When you stumble, do not hide. Let your honesty become prayer. I do not ask for perfection. I ask for presence. Be near to me, even in your mess. I can work with brokenness. It is the material from which resurrection is born. Come and sit with me when the world demands too much. Let your soul lean back into the stillness of my presence. You have believed the lie that productivity equals worth. But I tell you, your value was sealed the moment I breathed life into you. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right where grace intends you to be. I do not rush the process. I redeem the moments. Even now, my spirit whispers peace into the noise surrounding you. The world shouts of urgency, but heaven speaks in stillness. Be still, not as one who has given up, but as one who finally trusts that I am God. The weight on your shoulders was never yours to bear alone. Release it now. Let my presence become your resting place. You may not see it yet, but healing is already unfolding within you. The very act of returning to me, again and again, creates space for new life to rise. Like rivers beneath frozen ground, my grace flows unseen until the appointed time of thaw. And when it comes, you will marvel at how everything begins to bloom at once. For I am faithful. My promises do not expire with your impatience. Do not curse the waiting season. It teaches your heart to listen. Without it, you would chase blessings, but never recognize the giver. You would gather miracles, but forget the hands that made them possible. So even here, in this in-between place, I am working, refining your hope, deepening your trust, expanding your capacity to love. The waiting is holy ground. And when the time comes, when the door opens and favor pours forth like rain, remember how you felt in the wilderness. Remember that the valley taught you compassion, that sorrow taught you how to see the pain of others. Let humility remain your crown and mercy your song. I will lift you up, not to glorify your success, but to reveal my faithfulness through your life. All will see and know that my goodness has no end. Do not fear tomorrow. The same power that raised Christ from death lives in you. You are not fragile, you are favored. The challenges that await are not meant to destroy you, but to reveal the strength already planted within your spirit. I am shaping you for greater things than you imagine. For my plans are always layered in love, my timing steeped in wisdom. Trust the process. Now breathe. Feel peace spreading slowly through your being. I am here. I have always been here. Every heartbeat is evidence of my persistence. Every breath is grace renewed. You are not far from breakthrough. You are standing in its dawn. You may wonder at times why the light seems delayed, why answers arrive slower than your pain. But my beloved, light delayed is never light denied. I allow certain seasons of shadow not to punish you, but to prepare you to notice the brilliance when it finally breaks through. You cannot appreciate the sunrise if you have never stood in the dark. Every night you have endured has sharpened your spirit's vision. And when the dawn unfolds, your soul will not only see the light, it will become it. Do not despise the small beginnings, the unnoticed days. Great miracles often arrive dressed in ordinary hours. You think nothing is happening, yet heaven is building foundations beneath your every step. I am aligning hearts, moving circumstances, softening paths long before you walk upon them. When you cannot trace my hand, trust my heart, for love does not forget its own. I know you grow weary of waiting for justice, for promises long prayed over, but I am justice itself. What appears delayed is often mercy in motion, holding back what you cannot yet bear. My mercy protects you even from premature blessings. I am not withholding out of cruelty, but out of care. I am teaching you to trust the pace of eternal things. My timeline is not measured in hours, but in hearts transformed. So walk slowly through today. Feel the rhythm of grace beneath your feet. Not every battle requires your sword. Some victories are won in surrender. Lay down your need to control outcomes. You will not lose by letting go. You will gain peace that cannot be shaken. And quietness and trust shall be your strength. You have prayed for open doors, I have heard. But first, I am teaching you how to walk through them with humility, not haste. Opportunity without wisdom becomes a burden, but when timing and character align, blessing flows freely. That is why I'm refining you in hiddenness. Hidden seasons are not punishment, they are preparation. In secret, I'm cultivating depth that fame cannot counterfeit. When you finally stand before others, your roots will hold firm. My child, I do not measure success as the world does. I measure obedience. When you follow the whisper, when you choose kindness over recognition, forgiveness over pride, you build eternal treasures no eye can yet see. Heaven's applause often sounds like silence on earth. Do not mistake the lack of noise for the absence of impact. I am moving through you in ways that outlast empires and trends. Your faithfulness echoes beyond generations. There are moments you look at your reflection and wonder if you are enough. Hear me clearly now. You are my handiwork. You are not a mistake, not an afterthought. Every part of you was designed with purpose. Every weakness an invitation for my power to dwell. You are clay in the hands of a loving potter, shaped not by fear but by devotion. Do not despise the molding. It leads to beauty beyond your imagination. When anxiety rises like a storm tide, call upon my name. Speak peace even when you do not feel it. Words carry the breath of creation. When you declare truth, heaven responds. Let your lips become instruments of faith. Whisper my promises when worry tries to drown you. The atmosphere changes when my word is spoken. For my word is not just sound, it is life. You are learning even now how to walk by faith and not by sight. Sight will mislead you. Faith will anchor you. When what you see contradicts what I said, cling to my voice. The unseen realm is more real than what your eyes perceive. Trust that I am already ahead, clearing the path, preparing divine appointments you could not orchestrate. I am both the author and the finisher of your faith. And when the night comes again, as it surely will, do not fear the dark. Even the shadows must bow to my sovereignty. In that quiet, listen for the pulse of heaven. It beats in rhythm with your heart. You are never alone. Angels surround you, mercy enfolds you, and I watch over you with eyes that never close. You rest beneath wings that cannot fail. Sleep tonight knowing this. I am not done with you. The best chapters of your life have not yet been written. Even as you rest, I am planting tomorrow's miracles in the soil of your faith. You will wake to evidence of promises fulfilled, doors opened, hearts restored. For my goodness does not sleep. My love labors even in silence. And soon, joy will meet you like morning light spilling over the horizon. Rest now, my beloved one. Lay every burden down. You are safe, surrounded, sustained. The story continues, and so does my mercy. Tomorrow we will walk again. Type continue to receive the next part. Awaken, my beloved. The hour is nearer than it appears. The world hums with noise that numbs the spirit, but I'm calling you to hear the deeper rhythm beneath it all, the heartbeat of eternity. Be still and listen. My voice is not in the storm nor the earthquake, but in the whisper that follows. It is love, not fear, that is calling your name. There are many who wander with open eyes but closed hearts, chasing light that flickers but never warms. I grieve for them, for their souls grow thin under the weight of hollow desires. Yet even now, I stretch out my hand toward them, toward you, toward all who will listen. I am not here to accuse, I am here to awaken. Mercy still stands at the door, waiting for your yes. The deception of this age is subtle. It paints pride as wisdom and indulgence as freedom. It calls apathy enlightenment and sin self-expression. The crowd applauds what corrodes the soul, unaware of the slow erosion beneath their laughter. But you, my child, must see through the illusion, discern the spirits. Ask of every voice you hear, does it lead me closer to humility, to purity, to love? For the enemy does not always roar. Sometimes he whispers comfort that dulls conviction. He does not need rebellion when distraction will do. He need not destroy faith if he can make you delay obedience. And yet, I have placed within you a spark, a holy unrest that will not let you sleep in the shadow of compromise. Follow that spark. It is my spirit stirring you to awaken before the flood. Every choice matters. Every moment of surrender shapes eternity. The path of drift is smooth, lined with comfort and applause, but it ends at the cliff of regret. The path of truth is narrow, steep, and often misunderstood, but it leads to life. Choose life. Choose the voice that leads you upward, even when it costs your pride. You are not called to blend in. You are called to burn brightly. Do not wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the lullaby that lures the soul to sleep. The invitation is now. The door is open. The light is still on. If you knew how thin the veil truly is, how close eternity presses against your moments, you would not delay. You would rise now and come home. I am waiting with open arms, not ledgers. I am not holding judgment. I am holding a robe and a ring. Return with your whole heart. Repentance is not humiliation. It is homecoming. It is the turning of your face toward the light again. Do not perform it. Live it. Speak to me honestly. Tell me what you fear, what you hide, what you long for. I can handle your questions. I can bear your grief. But do not ask me to bless the poison that is killing your peace. Let it go. You say, "But Lord, how can I stay when everything around me shakes?" And I answer, by keeping your eyes fixed on me. The storm will not cease, but it will not swallow you. Build your house upon the rock of my word, and when winds rise, you will still stand. The proud will fall, but the humble will remain. For humility is the armor of the wise, and surrender is strength disguised as peace. Be still enough to let me rearrange the furniture of your soul. There are rooms I long to enter that you have kept locked, memories you've sealed off, wounds you've wallpapered with busyness. Let me in. In stillness, I will show you that what you thought was the end was only a beginning, that forgiveness is not weakness, it is freedom. That healing is not forgetting, it is redemption. I will defend you. You do not need to fight every battle alone. Release the debts you've been clutching. Let go of the names that wounded you, the memories that replay like storms in your mind. When you bless what hurt you, you break its power. I am your justice. I am your defender. Your freedom is too precious to trade for vengeance. When you obey, even in small things, the path beneath your feet begins to glow. Do what you already know is right. Turn from what you already know is wrong. The light increases with each obedient step. Authority is not given to the eloquent or the brilliant, but to the yielded. The tender heart will outlast the talented mouth. The listening soul will endure beyond the loudest platform. Do not envy those who shine for a season and fade. Their glitter is not the same as glory. I am calling you to quiet endurance, not momentary fame. Walk in truth even when no one applauds. I see, I know, and I will reward in the open what you sow in secret. The crowns that last are not made of gold, but of faith that did not quit. This is the awakening I long for you to know, not of fear, but of holy urgency. The lines are being drawn, not by hate, but by love. Truth and deception will soon stand apart, and I want you on the side of light. Stay close to me. When the world trembles, you will be unshaken. When others despair, you will sing with peace, for I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Breathe deeply, my child. You are safe within the storm, for I am in the storm with you. And every wave that seems to rise against you only lifts you closer to my arms. Rest now in that truth. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are loved beyond measure. Do not be afraid of the refining fire. What you call loss, I often call transformation. The pruning that feels like pain is clearing the way for fruit that will last. I am not removing what you need. I am removing what keeps you from freedom. When you lose what once defined you, do not despair. It means you're being redefined by grace. I prune, not to punish, but to prepare. Do not fear the silence between miracles. Even when heaven seems still, the roots of your faith are growing deeper. Growth in the unseen is the kind that lasts. Every unanswered prayer has shaped you in ways answers never could. For I am more concerned with your becoming than your comfort. Trust that I am working while you wait. My silence is not absence, it is strategy. I am the gardener of your soul. and every season has purpose. Spring brings joy, but winter builds strength. Do not curse the cold. It keeps the roots alive beneath the frost. Even when nothing blooms, life is quietly rehearsing resurrection. And when the appointed time arrives, the ground you thought barren will burst into beauty. For every buried hope, there is a dawn of restoration. Remember, beloved, you were not made to live half awake. The world lulls many into a shallow peace that numbs the spirit. But I'm stirring you to holy restlessness. When your comfort is disturbed, rejoice. It means heaven is near. For I shake what can be shaken, so that what cannot be shaken will remain. Do not resist the stirring. Let it lead you deeper into my heart. The coming days will reveal what is real. Many will speak of love but not live it. Many will admire the light but shrink from its cost. Yet those who stand firm in gentleness and truth will shine brighter than ever before. They will be known not for noise but for compassion, not for argument but for mercy. These are the ones I'm raising, hidden saints, quiet warriors, unseen intercessors whose prayers move mountains. You are one of them. You have felt the ache of the world's pain, and you have wept in silence for what breaks my heart. I have seen those tears, and none are wasted. They are watering the soil of miracles yet to bloom. Every burden you have carried for others is being turned into intercession, and every intercession into breakthrough. Your compassion is a weapon forged in heaven. When you pray for those who hurt you, you participate in the redemption of the world. When you forgive the unforgivable, you echo the cross. When you love without reward, you reveal the kingdom. And though the world may never applaud, heaven stands in awe. You are my hands extended, my voice through kindness, my heart moving quietly through humanity. Do not underestimate the eternal weight of small obediences. There will come a time when truth will feel lonely, when faith will be mocked, and love will be mistaken for weakness. Do not fear that time. It is written that light shines brightest when night is deepest. In that hour, those who know me will stand, not by might, but by intimacy. They will not crumble, for they have learned to hear my whisper over the thunder. You are being trained for that hour. You will not be afraid. If you lose everything but me, you have lost nothing. If you gain everything but lose me, you have gained nothing. I am your treasure, your anchor, your portion. When the world shakes, hold fast to that truth. You are made for eternal stability, not temporary applause. Stand firm, not in arrogance, but in love that cannot be moved. Those who abide in me will outlast the storm. Lift your eyes. The dawn is nearer than you think. I am already at work, turning mourning into dancing, despair into delight. You will see it soon. The reconciliation that seemed impossible, the healing that once felt out of reach. I am rewriting your story line by line with redemption ink. And when you read it back one day, you will call every delay a blessing and every wound a door to wonder. Be vigilant but not anxious. Be awake but not afraid. I'm not calling you to panic but to presence. For those who dwell in my secret place shall abide under my shadow. The arrows that fly by day and the terrors by night shall not touch your soul. My protection is not the absence of battle, but the assurance of victory. I am with you in every flame and flood. And when the world calls your faith foolish, smile gently. They cannot understand what peace tastes like until they've lost theirs. Keep loving, keep believing, keep sowing goodness when cynicism surrounds you. The fruit will come in due season. For I am Lord of the harvest, and nothing sown in love will die in vain. Keep your lamp burning and I will supply the oil. Now rest your mind. The noise will try to return, but peace will meet it at the door. You have not been abandoned. You have been awakened. Walk in this light, steady and sure. You are part of a divine unfolding, a song still being written by eternal hands. Trust every note, even the pauses. The melody is holy. I am not finished. My work in you continues. Take courage. The spirit within you is stronger than the storms around you. Even now I am breathing new strength into your weary soul. You are my chosen vessel of endurance, my light in dark places. Rise again tomorrow, not in fear but in faith. Type continue to receive the next part. Rise, my beloved, the hour of calling has come. You have walked through valleys of refining, through nights where faith was your only lantern. Now the dawn breaks not only for your comfort, but for your commission. What I have poured into your spirit through trial, I now pour out through you into the world. You are not merely healed, you are sent. Go forth as a bearer of light. Every scar upon your soul is now a window through which my glory shines. You thought they marked failure. They mark transformation. The wounds you once hid will become testimonies that heal others. For I redeem nothing halfway. Even ashes, when placed in my hands, become oil of joy. The fragrance of your surrender will draw the broken home. Your story is sacred ground. I am sending you not to speak of perfection, but of persistence. Tell them of the nights you nearly gave up and how grace found you in the quiet. Speak of the peace that followed repentance like dawn after storm. Do not rehearse your shame. Rehearse my mercy. Let humility be your crown and compassion your authority. The proud shout, the redeemed whisper truth that moves mountains. Go softly, yet go boldly. There will be places where rejection greets you. Do not be dismayed. The message of light always exposes what prefers darkness. But remember this, rejection is redirection. Each no is a signpost toward the divine yes. Do not harden your heart. Love even the hands that close doors, for I will open gates they cannot touch. In this season, learn the rhythm of rest and release. You were never meant to carry the world, only to carry my presence within it. Do not let zeal outrun intimacy. The work done apart from me becomes noise, but the work done with me becomes music. Stay near. Let prayer be your pulse and gratitude your breath. For from the still heart flows unshakable strength. I will place people along your path whose pain will mirror what you once endured. Do not turn away. You will see your past reflected in their eyes, and you will know exactly how to love them. Your empathy is not weakness. It is evidence of resurrection. For you cannot raise others unless you have first risen from the dust yourself. Comfort as you have been comforted. Do not despise small beginnings or quiet assignments. Some of my greatest works begin in hidden rooms, in whispered prayers, in acts unseen by crowds. The kingdom grows in secret like yeast in dough. One act of obedience ripples through eternity. Measure not your worth by applause, but by alignment. When you stand where I place you, all of heaven stands with you. There will be times when your strength feels insufficient. That is where miracles begin. You were never called to perform. You were called to abide. When you reach your limit, I extend mine. Lean into my sufficiency. My power is perfected in your weakness, and the world will see not your competence, but my constancy. Do not be discouraged by slow fruit. The seed takes time to break before it blooms. Hidden growth is still growth. I am not in a hurry, and neither should you be. The rhythm of heaven is patience wrapped in purpose. Trust it. What you build with endurance will outlast what others build with excitement. When you speak, let your words carry the fragrance of grace. Do not use truth as a weapon, but as healing balm. Correct gently, love fiercely. Listen more than you declare, for I dwell not in the volume of your voice, but in the purity of your tone. When compassion leads, conviction follows. The language of heaven is kindness. I will guide you where your wisdom ends. You will stand before moments that seem impossible. Pause. Invite me there. My presence transforms chaos into clarity. You will find that answers rise not from striving, but from stillness. I speak clearest to the heart that stops demanding and starts listening. Do not fear uncertainty. It is the canvas where revelation paints. Soon you will look back and marvel at how I led you through what once terrified you. You will trace the threads of grace and see that nothing was wasted. Even detours were disguised directions. Even delays were divine design. My fingerprints are all over your story. The tapestry is larger than your sight, but perfect in my hands. And every color, even the dark ones, serve a purpose. Take courage now, beloved. The time to rise is not tomorrow. It is today. Stand firm, clothed in faith, crowned with peace. You're my reflection walking through the dust of earth, carrying eternity in your eyes. Walk as one who belongs to the kingdom that cannot be shaken. Speak as one who has heard heaven's heart. Type continue to receive the next part. Do not mistake gentleness for weakness. It takes greater strength to bless than to curse, to heal than to wound, to stand still when the world demands you shout. The meek are not forgotten. They are the quiet inheritors of the earth. I have hidden power inside humility. When you choose to bow before me, heaven itself stands to attention. Every act of surrender is a declaration of victory. Learn the sacred art of waiting without resentment. Waiting is not wasted when it is done with trust. Each moment of patience expands the borders of your soul. The world races toward outcomes. I shape eternity through stillness. What you perceive as delay, I call preparation. You will never arrive late when you move at the pace of grace. For those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Let compassion guide your steps. Many speak of truth, but forget love. Truth without love injures, love without truth deceives. You are called to carry both like wings, balanced, strong, and guided by spirit. Let no bitterness nest within your heart. If offense knocks, answer it with mercy. In this way, you will walk as my reflection among men. I will give you eyes to see the lonely ones the world ignores. You will recognize them not by their clothes, but by their silence. Sit beside them. Listen before you speak. Sometimes presence heals more than words. Let compassion interrupt your schedule. For love is not measured by convenience, but by cost. What you do for the least of these, you do for me. Guard your joy. The enemy cannot steal what you protect with gratitude. Rejoice in small wonders. Sunlight on your skin, laughter shared in passing, the simple grace of breath. These are the fingerprints of my affection upon your days. Do not chase grand signs and miss the daily miracles. For joy is not found in excess, but in awareness. Joy is heaven whispering, I am near. When confusion surrounds you, anchor yourself in my word. Scripture is not merely ink on a page. It is my breath captured in language. Let it wash over your mind like rain upon parched soil. You will find wisdom rising where once there was weariness. Keep it close, speak it aloud. My word will never return void. It will accomplish what I have sent it to do. Do not measure success by comfort or applause. Measure it by faithfulness. If you have loved when it was hardest, you have triumphed. If you have forgiven when it made no sense, you have won. Heaven's scoreboard counts differently. The quiet prayer of endurance often shakes more kingdoms than 1,000 sermons. Continue to sow righteousness, even when no one notices. There will be moments when you grow weary of doing good. The fields of service are vast, and harvest feels distant. But do not lose heart. Every tear shed in faith becomes rain for tomorrow's blessing. Your labor and love will rise as fragrance before my throne. I will not forget your work nor your faithfulness. At the appointed time, joy will meet you in the very field where you once wept. If you stumble, rise again quickly. The dust of failure does not define you. I am not ashamed to lift you up. Do not dwell on the fall. Learn from it, stand and walk. Grace is not a license to repeat sin, but a power to begin anew. Look forward, not backward. For I cast your transgressions into seas too deep to retrieve. I delight more in your return than in your perfection. Let gratitude be the rhythm of your spirit. When you wake, whisper thanks. When you lie down, release praise. Gratitude transforms worry into worship and delay into devotion. A thankful heart sees miracles where others see mundanity. The one who gives thanks in everything never lacks joy. Keep thanksgiving as your constant companion, and peace will never leave your door. In the coming days, I will expand your territory, not always in ways the world recognizes, but in influence that reshapes hearts. You will speak words that set captives free, not through volume, but through presence. My spirit will rest upon your tone, turning ordinary phrases into divine appointments. Stay humble, stay yielded. The greater the light, the deeper the roots must grow. Remain grounded in love. As you walk forward, remember this. Your mission is not to be admired, but to reveal me. Do not build towers of self, but bridges of grace. The world will know you are mine, not by your eloquence, but by your gentleness. Not by your titles, but by your tenderness. You carry my name, and with it my heart. Let kindness be your banner and forgiveness your song. In this way, the world will glimpse heaven through you. And when the noise rises again, retreat to the secret place. Close the door, breathe. In stillness, I will renew your strength. My presence will restore what performance drained. You will find rest that the world cannot manufacture. I am there, in the quiet between your thoughts, in the pause between your prayers. Abide, and I will abide in you. Now rise, beloved one. Walk with confidence, cloaked in humility, filled with divine purpose. The journey ahead will demand courage, but courage already dwells within you. For I am your strength, your shield, your song. You were created for this very moment in eternity's story. Step forward. The world awaits the light I have placed inside you. You have carried much, my beloved. There are weights upon your shoulders that no one sees, silent battles that unfold behind the quiet of your smile. But I have seen, I have watched as you pressed forward when everything within you begged to stop. You have mistaken exhaustion for failure, yet it is proof of your faithfulness. Even in weakness, you chose to love, and that choice echoes through heaven. Endurance is worship in motion. Do not despise your weariness. It is the sign of a heart that has given itself fully. Come rest now in me. Lay your burdens down, not in defeat, but in trust. I never asked you to carry the world, only to walk beside me as I carry it with you. You are not responsible for every outcome. You are responsible only for your obedience. I know the days when prayer feels heavy, when hope flickers like a candle in the wind. But remember, even a whisper of faith moves mountains. When you can do nothing else but breathe my name, heaven bends to listen. Your persistence, not your perfection, delights my heart. Faith that endures through silence is faith refined by fire. Let me restore you. Let the weight slide from your spirit like rain off stone. You were not designed to live drained. I will refill the empty spaces within you with peace that cannot be stolen. Rest does not mean retreat. It means renewal. When you rest in me, your roots grow deeper. Strength returns not by striving, but by surrender. I am your still water, drink deeply. In the quiet, you will hear my song again. It is not a song of demands, but of delight. I rejoice over you even now. My melody rises through your scars, turning pain into harmony. The past does not define your worth. It becomes the stage for my redemption. Listen closely. I make all things new, even what you thought beyond repair. Resurrection begins in rest. There are memories you avoid because they ache to remember, yet healing cannot come to what you will not face. Take my hand. Let us walk gently into those places together. I will not condemn you there. I will sit with you among the fragments until they lose their power to wound. I do not erase your past, I redeem it. Every broken chapter becomes a doorway to compassion. Do not be ashamed of your need for healing. Even the strongest branches need pruning to bear more fruit. You have tried to appear whole for too long. Bring me your honesty, not your mask. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is worship. I do not require performance. I long for presence. Come as you are, and I will make what is weary radiant again. You say, but Lord, I have failed too often. And I say, yet still, you are mine. Failure cannot cancel my affection. The covenant of my love is sealed in blood, not behavior. When shame shouts, answer it with grace. For every accusation against you, my mercy speaks louder. There is no condemnation in the arms of the Redeemer. You are not behind. You are becoming. Growth takes time, and I am patient. Stop comparing your pace to those who run different races. My plans for you are not late. They are layered. I build with eternal precision. Each delay hides a deeper purpose. Trust that I am weaving something greater than quick relief, lasting restoration. Let gratitude rise again like morning light. Thankfulness is medicine for the weary soul. When you thank me even through tears, you shift the atmosphere around you. Gratitude turns ashes into an altar. What you call small, heaven calls sacred. Keep your eyes on the mercies that remain. Every breath is proof that grace endures. I'm not distant from your struggle. I'm within it, molding perseverance in your bones. I'm shaping you into one who endures storms without losing tenderness. The world needs such souls, unshaken yet soft, strong yet kind. You will not break. You will bend. And in that bending, you will learn the rhythm of divine endurance. The fire refines. It does not consume. Even when you cannot see, I am guiding you through the fog. Faith does not always see the path. It simply knows the hand that leads. Hold fast to that hand. The unknown is not your enemy. It is the hallway of transformation. I am teaching you to trust the unseen, to walk by peace, not by proof. When you cannot trace my plan, trust my character. Take one breath now, slowly. Feel how it steadies you. That rhythm, inhale, exhale, is the rhythm of grace. You do not hold your breath to earn air, neither must you strive to earn my love. It flows naturally toward you. Receive it. Let it fill every hollow space until peace overflows. You are safe, my child. You are not forgotten in the waiting. I am already at work, repairing what time has worn down. Soon you will see the first signs of restoration, the gentle shift, the small breakthrough, the sudden peace that needs no explanation. These are the first fruits of renewal. Hold on to them. They are my signature upon your tomorrow. Rest now in that truth. The night may still be long, but morning is written into its ending. You are closer to new beginnings than you realize. Do not measure by what you feel. Measure by what I have promised. For my word is steady and my faithfulness eternal. Those who wait on me will soar again. There is nothing you have lost that I cannot restore. Nothing broken that I cannot make whole. I specialize in the impossible, for resurrection is my signature. You look at ruins and see endings. I look and see beginnings. The same hands that shaped galaxies now reshape the fragments of your life. Where you see ashes, I see the outline of beauty yet to rise. I will restore not just what was taken, but what was wasted. The years you call lost were never lost to me. They were seasons of hidden preparation. Every tear-watered soil that will bloom in due time. What the enemy meant for harm, I am turning into harvest. I am the God who redeems time. Nothing surrendered to me ever stays broken. Even relationships that died can breathe again in my mercy. I restore not by returning to the past, but by revealing new beginnings shaped from its lessons. Do not cling to what was. Reach for what is becoming. The same love that once bound can be reborn as peace that frees. Trust me to rewrite connections in ways that heal both hearts. I restore by transforming, not by repeating. Your identity is not in the pain that marked you. You are not defined by who left, by what failed, or by where you fell. You are defined by who lifted you. My grace names you redeemed. My love declares you whole, and my spirit whispers new. Walk as one restored, not as one recovering. For the past has no claim over the redeemed soul. The restoration I bring is not fragile. It does not depend on circumstances, but on covenant. You are secure in me. The storms may return, but they will no longer define you. You will not break as before. You have learned the sacred rhythm of falling into my arms instead of fear. That is strength that cannot be stolen. Let your heart believe again. Hope is not naive, it is holy. To hope after disappointment is an act of courage that shakes hell itself. Your hope is a seed, and I am the rain. Soon joy will spring forth from soil once barren, for I never abandon what I plant. Hope is faith stretching toward the light. There is a new chapter opening, written not in haste, but in healing. Do not rush it, savor it. Each line is penned with compassion, each paragraph with promise. You will read this chapter with tears of recognition, realizing that I was faithful all along. The story is not ending, it is turning toward glory. I am the author who never abandons the book midway. The plot twist is redemption. Soon you will walk through doors that once frightened you. You will feel peace where fear once lived. You will laugh in places where you once wept. This is restoration, not a return to what was, but a revelation of what is greater. And those who doubted your deliverance will marvel at your renewal, for your joy will preach louder than your pain ever did. Do not shrink back when blessings arrive. Receive them without guilt. You have walked through deserts. Now drink freely from the river. Enjoyment is not sin. It is gratitude expressed. Celebrate the goodness that flows your way. The one who rejoices honors the giver. Rejoice then, for restoration is the fruit of my faithfulness. And when the next storm rises, as storms always do, remember what you have learned in the calm. You no longer fear the wind, for you know the one who commands it. You no longer dread the dark, for light now dwells within you. Stand firm, beloved. You are not who you were. You are stronger, softer, wiser, freer. You have been restored to reveal restoration. The world will see and wonder. They will ask, how did you survive? And you will answer, I did not survive. I was remade. Then you will point not to yourself, but to me, and heaven will smile, for redemption will have done its perfect work. This is your testimony. I was lost, but love found me. Now breathe, child of light. Your restoration is complete, yet still unfolding. Day by day, I will strengthen what I have renewed. You will live not as a survivor, but as a song, proof that grace always has the final word. Rest tonight in that melody. You are whole. You are loved. You are mine. Lift your eyes, my beloved. You were never meant to live in circles of confusion, chasing shadows that vanish with the light. I formed you with intention, carved your name into eternity before the foundations of the world were laid. You are not an accident of time. You are a design of purpose. The breath within you is a fragment of my eternal plan, carrying potential the earth still waits to see. Open your eyes. The vision was always inside you. You have looked outward, asking what your calling might be. But calling is not found. It is revealed through communion. The closer you come to me, the clearer your purpose becomes. Do not chase destiny as if it were hiding somewhere in the distance. Destiny unfolds like dawn to the one who abides. I do not drop assignments from heaven. I awaken identity within hearts. Come nearer, and you will see that purpose is not a task. It is relationship. You were made to reflect me, not to replace me. Many chase greatness and lose gentleness. Others seek impact and forget intimacy. But I call you to walk differently. Impact without presence is noise, and greatness without grace is dust. Let your ambition be love. Let your goal be obedience. For the world does not need louder voices. It needs clearer mirrors of my heart. When you become love, you fulfill the highest calling. You ask, Lord, how will I know the path? And I whisper, by peace. My peace will guard you like a compass. When you step in harmony with my will, peace will settle like morning dew upon your soul. When you step away, unrest will stir, calling you back. Follow peace, not pressure. Follow love, not fear. This is how vision remains clear in a fog of noise. My will is not a puzzle. It is a pathway of peace. The dreams that stir within you are not random sparks of imagination. They are seeds of eternity planted by my hand. I place them within you to remind you that your life is bigger than survival. I did not make you to merely endure. I made you to create, to cultivate, to restore. Every holy desire is a whisper of my heart through yours. Nurture it with prayer, water it with patience, and in due season it will bloom. For I watch over every seed I sow. You have asked for signs, but I have given you sight. The eyes of your spirit see farther than the eyes of your flesh. Look beyond what is visible and perceive what is possible. Vision is not imagination. It is revelation. It is the alignment of your perception with my promise. When I say, see, I do not speak to your mind, but to your faith. Faith paints what the future will one day mirror. Do not despise the season of preparation. I am training your hands for gentleness and your heart for endurance. I am teaching you to walk slow enough to hear my footsteps beside yours. For the one who rushes outruns revelation. Wait, not in frustration, but in formation. You are being fitted for the very door I have crafted for you. Timing is the art of divine architecture. The purpose I have placed within you will serve others. You will find fulfillment not by climbing higher, but by kneeling lower. The true leaders of heaven are servants clothed in humility. When you lift others, I lift you. When you encourage the weary, you echo my voice. The power you seek flows through compassion, not control. Let your influence smell like grace, not pride. For love is the language the broken still understand. Do not wait until you feel qualified. I do not call the prepared, I prepare the called. Every inadequacy you fear is an opportunity for my glory to shine. Bring your weakness, your trembling, your uncertainty. I will turn them into instruments of strength. My power is made perfect in weakness. What disqualifies you in your eyes qualifies you in mine. The vision I give you will not fade, but it will be tested. Do not mistake opposition for misdirection. Resistance builds roots. If I allowed every door to open easily, you would not learn perseverance. What costs you nothing will carry little power. Stay steady. The reward for endurance is not applause. It is alignment with my will. Lift your chin again. The horizon ahead is painted with promise. You have not missed your moment. It is arriving precisely on time. What you thought was detour was design. You are standing at the edge of unveiling. Trust that I finish what I begin. For my hand does not tremble when it writes destiny. Your purpose is safe in my plan. Now breathe and let peace return. The same voice that called the stars into being calls you now by name. Do not shrink from the light. Step into it. For you were never meant to be hidden forever. Your season of silence prepared your sound. Go forth in confidence, clothed in humility. The world awaits what I have placed inside you. Type continue to receive the next part. When you walk in the purpose I place within you, the earth begins to heal in ways unseen. Every act of kindness releases ripples that touch hearts you may never meet. This is how heaven expands through ordinary hands doing sacred work. Never underestimate the quiet obedience that shifts eternity. I record every whisper of love, every humble yes, every moment you choose compassion over comfort. The smallest seed of faith still moves mountains when planted in trust. You will face moments when vision feels dim, when fatigue blurs what once seemed clear. Do not despair. Every great calling passes through shadows before light dawns again. When revelation feels distant, remembrance becomes your torch. Recall the promises I spoke when the fire first ignited. My word does not expire with emotion. It matures through endurance. Let patience be your worship when progress hides its face. For waiting in faith is not wasted time. It is sacred alignment. There will be voices that doubt you, even within your own mind. They will say, you are too late, too small, too broken. But I say, you are right on time, perfectly placed, fully known. The world measures strength by speed and size. I measure by surrender. Yielding to me is victory, not defeat. When you kneel, you rise higher than you can stand. Some visions will seem impossible because they are not meant to be done alone. I knit communities through shared callings. You will meet souls whose dreams harmonize with yours, not by coincidence, but by design. Together, you will reveal glimpses of heaven's architecture. The body of Christ is not a monument, it is movement. When each part functions in love, the world witnesses my glory. Cherish connection, for isolation starves purpose. Guard your vision from cynicism. The enemy cannot destroy destiny, but he can distract it. Beware of comparison. It blinds clarity and corrodes gratitude. Fix your gaze on me, not on metrics or applause. You are not in competition with anyone crafted by my hand. I call each of my children to unique melodies. Harmony, not rivalry, is heaven's song. Keep your spirit free from envy and your heart light with wonder. When I expand your territory, remember, humility is the foundation of altitude. The higher I lift you, the deeper your roots must reach in grace. Success is safe only in surrendered hearts. If pride whispers, silence it with praise. For gratitude is the fragrance that keeps favor pure. Those who exalt me will never crumble beneath the weight of blessing. Your journey will not be free of hardship. Vision without resistance produces fragility, not strength. Each challenge refines, teaching you compassion for those you will later guide. Do not rush the refinement. It ensures longevity. The fire that frightens you is the same fire that forges kings and queens in my kingdom. Rejoice even in refining, for it proves you are chosen for something enduring. At times I will call you to speak truth in places resistant to it. Do so with courage, but also with tenderness. Truth without love hardens hearts. Love without truth leaves them empty. Balance them as I did, grace and truth intertwined. Your words carry weight when rooted in compassion. Speak life where gossip reigns, hope where despair echoes, light where fear hides. I will give you the wisdom to know when to speak and when to simply stand. Purpose matures when it learns to rest. You are not what you produce. You are who you are becoming in my presence. Cease striving to prove worth through endless motion. Sit with me in stillness, and you will find that revelation blooms in rest. When you let peace lead, productivity becomes effortless. Be still and know that I am God. There will come a moment when everything I've shown you will converge. Pieces that seem scattered will align into a divine mosaic. You will see how nothing was wasted. Not the waiting, not the wandering, not the wondering. Every lesson will form a thread in the tapestry of purpose. Then you will marvel at the artistry of my timing. You will whisper, "Now I understand," and heaven will echo, "It was always love." Go now, clothed in clarity. Let vision become movement and movement become worship. Wherever you walk, carry light. Let others see through you not perfection, but perseverance touched by grace. The world does not need your polish, it needs your presence. Shine as one who knows their source. For the God who began this good work will bring it to completion. Type continue to receive the next part. My beloved, when the storm rises and the earth beneath you trembles, remember who steadies the seas. You were not created to collapse under the weight of fear. Within you dwells the same spirit that raised Christ from the grave. That power does not fade with circumstance. It grows brighter in adversity. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to trust me in spite of it. Courage is not born in comfort, but in communion. When you lean into my presence rather than your own strength, boldness awakens. You will learn that bravery is not noise or haste. It is quiet confidence anchored in my word. Every time you whisper, "I believe," you shake the foundations of doubt. The enemy flees from the sound of steadfast faith, even if it is spoken through trembling lips. Do not despise small faith, for even mustard seeds move mountains. There will be days when faith feels fragile, when hope seems like a thin thread. In those moments, remember that I hold both the thread and you. My grip is stronger than your grasp. You may feel like you are slipping, but grace does not let go. The victory of the cross was not momentary. It is eternal, covering every weakness you bring. Breathe, child. Your doubts cannot drown what I have already redeemed. Courage grows when you remember what I have done before. Recall the battles I already won for you, the times I made a way where none existed. Testimony is the oxygen of faith. Each remembrance is a spark that reignites confidence in my power. The same hand that delivered you then is stretched out still. I am not a memory of miracles. I am the maker of new ones. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Let not despair convince you that darkness will endure forever. The night cannot cancel the morning I have appointed. Your tears are not wasted. They are prayers in liquid form. Every sigh, every cry, every silent ache ascends to my throne as worship. And I respond not with pity, but with purpose. I turn mourning into movement, ashes into anthems. You will dance again in places where you once only knelt. When you feel surrounded by chaos, fix your gaze on me. The wind may roar, but my whisper holds greater authority. Do not feed fear with attention. Speak my promises louder than your panic, for fear starves when faith speaks. Lift your voice in praise even when your heart trembles. Worship is the weapon that confuses the enemy and strengthens your soul. I am teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. Sight ends at circumstance, but faith begins where reason stops. Trust is not understanding the path, it is knowing the shepherd. The unknown is not a void, it is a canvas where I paint new revelations. Walk forward, even if you see only the next step. Each step of obedience lights the one that follows. In time, the whole path will shine with glory. You may think courage means never trembling, but true courage is trembling and still choosing to move. Do not wait for fear to vanish. Move through it with me beside you. My strength does not replace yours, it infuses it. Together we will walk through fire, and you will come out radiant. The flames that frighten will forge you. You will carry the scent of victory, not smoke. When others lose heart, let your peace become their anchor. Faith multiplies when shared. Speak hope into weary souls. Remind them that storms have boundaries and grace has none. Your confidence in me will become light for many wandering hearts. Be brave, not because you see the outcome, but because you know the one who writes it. The battle belongs to the Lord, and victory already wears your name. You are learning that faith is not fragile, it is flexible, it bends but does not break. Like a tree that bows in the wind but remains rooted, your soul endures because it is anchored in me. So when you feel stretched, rejoice. Stretching is proof that growth is happening. What feels like breaking is often birthing. Hold steady, beloved. I'm strengthening your foundation beneath the surface. Soon you will look back on this valley and see it not as punishment, but preparation. The lessons carved here will equip you for higher ground. I am not just building your future, I am building your endurance. Because where I am taking you, you will need faith that does not waver when the world shakes. Stand firm, let nothing move you. The crown belongs to those who do not quit. Do not measure progress by comfort. Growth rarely feels gentle, yet even pain serves purpose when placed in my hands. I am molding your courage into something unshakable, something eternal. You are becoming a living testimony that fear may roar, but faith always reigns. Walk forward. Heaven marches with you. Type, continue to receive the next part. Do not be afraid of the weight you carry. It is proof of the calling you bear. I have not burdened you to break you, but to build you. The challenges before you are not walls. They are doors disguised as trials. Walk through them with courage. Beyond every obstacle lies the next layer of blessing. I am with you in the pressure as much as in the peace. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and breathe. My presence is the air that revives your lungs, the calm that resets your rhythm. You are not losing control. You are learning to trust mine. Let go of the urge to manage every outcome. I have already walked the road ahead of you. Your role is not to predict, but to follow. Faith is freedom from the need to foresee. Courage is peace under divine command. When fear rises, speak truth louder than trembling. Declare my promises into the air around you. The enemy's greatest weapon is suggestion, not substance. He whispers lies hoping you will repeat them as truth. Silence him with praise. Lift your worship higher than worry, for light does not debate with darkness. It simply shines. Let worship be your language of war. There will be moments when your courage feels drained by the noise of doubt. In those moments, remember that even silence can be sacred. You do not need to fill every void with answers. Sit with me in the stillness. Let the quiet remind you that I am God and you are held. Faith grows best in the soil of surrender. I am refining your perception of victory. Sometimes winning looks like standing your ground when everything screams to run. Sometimes it is choosing forgiveness when resentment feels justified. The world calls it weakness. I call it divine strength. My son conquered death not by force but by surrender. In him, courage wore compassion and power walked in humility. Follow his pattern and you will always overcome. Do not let weariness convince you that you are failing. Even eagles rest between flights. Rest is not retreat, it is repair. In quietness, I rewire your strength. When you rise again, you will carry a calm power that confuses fear. Let peace be your proof of progress. Courage does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers, I will try again tomorrow. You have asked, Lord, how can I remain brave when I feel so small? And I reply, by remembering that I am not. Your courage is not self-made. It is borrowed from my infinite strength. The lion within you is the echo of my roar. The flame that refuses to die is my spirit alive in you. Greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. Every battle you face is filtered through my sovereignty. Nothing reaches you without passing through my permission and my plan. Even pain bows to purpose. What was meant to destroy you will become your testimony. I turn wounds into windows through which my glory shines. Do not curse the struggle that shaped your strength. It has made you unshakable. You are no longer a victim of fear. You are a vessel of victory. When you walk through the fire, remember, it will not consume you. When the waters rise, they will not sweep you away. My presence is your protection. Angels surround you even when unseen. The unseen world rejoices at every act of faith you take. Heaven cheers for you, beloved, for you are running a race already marked with grace. Finish strong, for I go before you and behind you. And when the victory arrives, as it surely will, wear humility as your crown. Remember who carried you when your knees buckled. Remember who fought battles unseen while you slept. Your triumph is not an ending. It is an invitation to deeper trust. I will call you to new frontiers, new levels of faith, new songs of courage. This journey never ends, it only ascends. Keep walking, for every step you take echoes in eternity. Type continue to receive the next part. Beloved, the greatest strength you will ever carry is love. Not the fragile love that depends on approval or perfection, but the divine love that flows from me, pure, unending, unstoppable. It is this love that spoke galaxies into motion and breathed life into dust. It is this love that found you when shame said you were unworthy. Love is not something I give, it is who I am. When you open your heart to my love, fear begins to lose its grip. Perfect love drives out fear, for fear has to do with punishment. I did not create you to live in anxiety, but in assurance. My love is not a contract that breaks when you fail. It is a covenant that endures when you fall. Every wound, every regret, every broken piece of your story is embraced by this love. You do not have to earn it. You only have to receive it. I have seen the moments when you loved deeply and were met with silence, when your kindness was misunderstood, your loyalty unreturned. Do not let that pain harden your heart. Love that costs you something is love that mirrors mine. Every act of compassion that goes unnoticed is recorded in eternity. I see what others overlook, and I reward what others forget. The world will tell you to guard your heart by building walls, but I tell you to guard it by keeping it soft. For the hardened heart cannot receive healing, nor can it reflect my mercy. Compassion is not weakness. It is wisdom born from understanding pain. The tender soul recognizes suffering not as a threat, but as a calling to comfort. I made your empathy a bridge through which heaven touches earth. When you love others through their darkness, you reflect the light of my face. I know it is not easy to love in a world that wounds, but remember this: your ability to love others does not depend on their response. It depends on your connection to me. The more you abide in my presence, the more limitless your love becomes. My spirit will teach you to love without fear of rejection, without expectation of return. For love that demands repayment is a transaction, not transformation. Real love gives even when it is not received. When compassion feels heavy, rest in me. Do not confuse compassion with carrying every burden alone. I am the one who heals. You are simply the hands that touch, the voice that comforts. You plant seeds of mercy. I bring the harvest. Never underestimate the quiet miracles that unfold through your kindness. Every gentle word spoken in my name reverberates through eternity. The world changes one act of unseen love at a time. You have asked, Lord, how can I keep forgiving when it hurts? And I answer, by remembering that forgiveness is freedom, not approval. To forgive does not mean to forget what happened. It means to release what is holding you. Every time you choose forgiveness, you break the cycle of pain that once bound you. I know the cost of forgiveness. I paid it with my blood. Forgiveness is not losing. It is winning without hatred. There are people who wounded you not because you were weak, but because you reflected light they could not handle. Do not let bitterness steal what beauty remains in you. Bitterness is a chain that love alone can unlock. Hand the pain to me and watch how I transform it into wisdom. You will learn to love again, not with naivety, but with discernment. My love makes you wiser, not colder. I will send people into your life who remind you that goodness still exists. Friends who carry light into your dark seasons. Strangers who reflect my kindness without even realizing it. Do not close yourself off to connection out of fear of loss. Love is a risk worth taking because every time you love, you become more like me. Love is the only investment that never returns void. If you ever doubt your worth, look at the cross. That is the measure of your value. I did not suffer so you could live in shame. I bore your guilt so you could stand freely in grace. Nothing you have done can erase the love that sealed your redemption. You are not tolerated, you are treasured. My love for you does not fluctuate with your performance. It flows from eternity. Type continue to receive the next part. Love, my child, is not a feeling that fades with mood or moment. It is a decision, a reflection of my eternal nature. You were created to love beyond reason, beyond return, beyond recognition. That kind of love cannot be imitated. It must be received from me first. When you rest in my affection, loving others becomes effortless overflow. To abide in love is to abide in me. The world's version of love is fragile. It applauds when convenient and abandons when costly. But my love does not retreat in pain. It redeems it. It steps into broken places and breathes life where bitterness once lived. This is the love I have placed inside you. You were not made to echo the world's affection, but to rewrite it. Through you, I will show the world what everlasting love looks like. Let compassion lead your steps each day. See people not as problems to solve, but as souls to be loved. Some will not thank you. Some will misunderstand. Still, love them anyway. For every heart you touch in kindness becomes a ripple in eternity's river. Your smallest act of mercy can change the course of a life. Never underestimate the silent sermons preached through compassion. There will be times when loving others feels like bleeding, when kindness is mistaken for weakness. But remember, the strongest hands the world ever saw were pierced in love. My son did not lose his power when he chose the cross. He revealed it. Love is never wasted when it mirrors sacrifice. Even pain becomes holy when it is offered in compassion. Those who love through suffering carry heaven's fragrance. You are learning to love not for reward, but because love itself is your reward. The joy that follows is not always instant, but it is eternal. In heaven's economy, nothing done in love is lost. Every tear sown in compassion returns as laughter and glory. Continue to love even when unseen, for I am the witness who never forgets. I keep record not of faults but of faithfulness. Do not fear vulnerability. It is the birthplace of true connection. When you open your heart, you risk pain, but you also invite miracles. Walls protect you from harm, but also from healing. Let me be your protection while you remain open. Love boldly, knowing I stand between you and every wound. Your heart was designed to reflect mine, not to hide from life. Let your love extend to those who cannot repay it, to the forgotten, the overlooked, the broken beyond words. Serve them without seeking recognition. For every unseen act, I will repay in unseen ways. The treasures of heaven are stored in hearts that choose compassion over convenience. When you love the least of these, you love me. The smile you bring to one soul shines brighter than crowns. There will be moments when your love will be tested by betrayal. When that happens, remember that betrayal did not end my mission. It revealed it. I turned the kiss of deceit into the doorway of redemption. You can rise from pain not bitter but better, because my love transforms poison into power. Do not let wounds define you, let them refine you. Forgiven hearts become fearless hearts. When the world grows cold, let your warmth be rebellion. Be the one who still believes in goodness, who still speaks life, who still reaches out. The light within you is not small. It is my spirit, alive and radiant. On. Love fiercely, for love is how the kingdom advances. Love never fails. And now, my beloved, let love become your identity. Let it guide your tone, your touch, your time. When you wake, choose love. When you rest, release love. This is how you will find peace in every season. The one who abides in love abides in me, and I in them. You are my reflection to a world desperate for mercy. Go and love boldly, for that is the highest form of worship. Type continue to receive the next part. Be still, my beloved. You live in a world that rushes, yet my kingdom moves in rhythm with peace. Noise will always try to claim your attention, but peace is found in the quiet that waits within. I do not speak over chaos. I calm it first. And so when you feel overwhelmed, do not run faster. Slow down and listen. Peace begins where striving ends. I know how the noise of the world has worn you down. So many voices telling you who to be, what to fear, what to chase. But my voice is different. It is steady, soft, sure. You will not find it in the storm of opinions, but in the whisper of my presence. Come away from the crowd for a while. Let me remind you of who you are beyond the noise. You are mine, and that is enough. You cannot control every wave that rises against you, but you can choose where to drop your anchor. Anchor yourself in me, and the storm will not steal your peace. Even as the winds rage, you will find stillness inside your soul. This is the secret of divine calm. It does not depend on silence around you, but serenity within you. The storm may surround you, but it cannot enter a heart guarded by my peace. Do not mistake stillness for inactivity. Stillness is not idleness. It is alignment. It is the place where your heart beats in rhythm with heaven's pulse. When you rest in me, your spirit becomes clear, your vision sharp, your purpose unclouded. Rest is how revelation finds you. You cannot hear the melody of grace while sprinting through noise. Sit with me, and I will teach you the music of peace. You have tried to fix what only faith can heal. You have carried battles that were never yours to fight. Lay them down, one by one. I know your desire to make everything right, but peace is not found in control. It is found in surrender. The world says, hold tighter. I say, let go. In letting go, you discover that my hands were already beneath yours, holding all things together. There are moments when silence feels uncomfortable, when you crave distraction to escape your thoughts. But silence is not your enemy. It is your invitation. In the stillness, I speak truth louder than any noise. I remind you of promises forgotten beneath anxiety. I show you that peace is not something to chase, it's something to return to. I am the stillness between your racing thoughts. Let my peace wash over the places that tremble within you. Breathe slowly. Inhale my presence. Exhale your worry. Let every breath remind you that I am near. You are not alone in the dark. My spirit moves gently, steadying your heartbeat, quieting the chaos. Peace is not distant. It is dwelling inside you, waiting to be acknowledged. My peace surpasses all understanding. Do not look for peace in perfect circumstances. The world's calm depends on control, but my peace thrives in surrender. It is not the absence of trouble, but the presence of trust. When you learn to rest in uncertainty, you demonstrate faith stronger than logic. Even when you cannot see the path ahead, walk knowing that I go before you. The road may twist, but the destination remains me. Peace is knowing that no matter the path, you will always end up in my arms. Your mind often races ahead, planning, worrying, imagining what could go wrong. But peace lives only in the present moment, where I dwell. When you focus on yesterday, you carry what I already forgave. When you fear tomorrow, you try to control what I already arranged. Stay here now with me. This moment is holy because I am in it. Breathe and know that you are safe. Peace is not passive. It is power disguised as gentleness. It can calm tempests, disarm anger, and silence despair. The enemy fears the soul at rest because stillness reveals strength. When you choose calm over chaos, you disarm his entire strategy. The battle is often won by the one who stays still long enough to listen. Type, continue to receive the next part. Peace is the inheritance I left you, not as the world gives, but as heaven breathes. My peace is not fragile. It does not shatter when plans change or people fail. It is anchored in eternity beyond the reach of circumstance. When I say, peace be still, even the winds recognize my authority. And if creation listens to my voice, surely your heart can too. Be still and know that I am God. You do not need to chase peace. You need to create space for it. The noise outside will always compete for your focus, but silence is where I wait to meet you. Set aside the rush, even for a few moments each day. Let stillness become sacred routine, a quiet meeting place between your soul and mine. There, I will pour clarity into confusion and calm into chaos. My presence will become the resting place your heart has searched for. When anxiety rises like a flood, remember that I am the shore it cannot cross. Worry may whisper lies, but truth roars louder. I am in control. I have numbered your days, not your doubts. No storm can rewrite what I have written in grace. Even when you feel surrounded, you are held within my peace like a fortress. I am your refuge and your rest. Do not confuse stillness with silence from heaven. When you do not hear my voice, it does not mean I am absent. It means I am teaching you to trust what I already said. I speak in the pause between your prayers, in the gentle conviction within your heart. Learn to rest, even when revelation delays, for waiting in peace is faith perfected. Silence is not my absence, it is my artistry. Let your home become a sanctuary of peace. Fill it not only with music and warmth, but with prayer and gratitude. Bless each room with words of life. Let every corner echo with kindness. When you invite peace into your dwelling, angels linger there. Your atmosphere becomes a testimony that heaven lives among you. Peace is the fragrance of my presence. Be gentle with yourself. You are not behind. You are being refined. Rest does not mean you are lazy. It means you trust that I can move even when you pause. The world glorifies exhaustion, but I glorify restoration. Sit with me and let me mend what rushing has frayed. You do not have to earn the right to rest. I rested on the seventh day as a declaration, not a necessity. Learn from that rhythm of grace. Peace will guard your relationships when words fail. Sometimes silence speaks louder than argument. When tempers rise, respond not with volume, but with calm. My spirit dwells in restraint. The quiet strength of peace has the power to disarm anger and heal wounds that pride only deepens. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. I long for you to walk in such peace that nothing external can disturb your internal stillness. Not because storms disappear, but because you have learned that I am bigger than any storm. This kind of peace does not come from isolation, but from intimacy with me. The more you know my heart, the less power fear holds over yours. Abide, and peace will not just visit you, it will live in you. Peace is not found, it is formed through trust. When night falls and silence wraps the earth, remember that peace is not the absence of sound, but the presence of assurance. I am watching over you, even as you sleep. Angels stand guard at your door. My hand rests upon your heart. You can rest because I never do. You can dream because I keep watch. So close your eyes without fear, for you rest beneath divine protection. My peace will be your lullaby tonight. Type continue to receive the next part. My beloved child, wisdom is not distant. It is the whisper that follows my presence. Guidance is not hidden. It is the light that appears when you choose to walk with me. You often ask, Lord, what should I do? Yet before the question leaves your lips, I have already placed the answer in your spirit. It is not found in the noise of the world, but in the stillness where your soul leans toward mine. Those who seek me with all their heart will never walk in darkness. I guide not through confusion, but through peace. My spirit is a compass that never points away from love, humility, or truth. When your steps align with compassion, you are walking in my direction. Many chase signs and wonders, but true wisdom is learning to hear me in the ordinary, the sunrise that greets you, the kindness of a stranger, the conviction that stirs your heart. These are all my messages written in daily language. Listen closely and you will recognize my handwriting in everything. You do not need every answer at once. I reveal direction in portions so your trust may grow stronger with each step. I could show you the entire map, but then you would lean on the map instead of the maker. So I teach you to walk by faith, not sight. Each day holds a clue, a light for the next step. Take it, and the path will unfold. The faithful step becomes the guiding lamp. When you cannot tell left from right, stop striving and pray. I speak in peace, not panic. If the path you're considering steals your rest or fills you with unrest, pause. My wisdom will never push you into chaos. I may lead you into challenge, yes, but never confusion. When something is of me, even in uncertainty, there is a quiet assurance. That calm is the echo of my voice. Remember this, beloved. The enemy imitates my voice, but never my peace. He promises clarity, but delivers anxiety. He paints shortcuts with shimmering lies. Yet the fruit of deception is always unrest. Ask yourself, does this draw me closer to humility and holiness, or to pride and haste? Wisdom begins where reverence lives. To discern my will, do not analyze only with your mind. Align with your heart where my spirit dwells. My sheep know my voice, and another they will not follow. The path of wisdom is narrow, not because I wish to limit you, but because truth itself is precise. There are roads that seem wide with promise but end in exhaustion. There are also paths that begin small yet expand into freedom. Choose not by appearance, but by peace. What aligns with eternal purpose will outlast temporary pleasure. Wisdom is not always the easier road, but it is always the safer one for your soul. When your heart is surrendered, I can turn even detours into destiny. I weave wrong turns into right lessons. Do not fear mistakes. Fear only hardness of heart. A humble heart can learn even from failure. My guidance is not erased by your missteps. It grows stronger through them. For every place you have fallen, I have already placed a lesson beneath the dust. Pick it up and walk again. Wisdom often arrives disguised as waiting. I slow your pace not to frustrate you, but to refine you. Waiting stretches faith like gold through fire, burning away impatience and pride. Do not despise the seasons when doors seem closed. I am building endurance so that when the door opens, you will have the strength to walk through it with grace. Patience is the language of maturity. Sometimes my guidance will come through people, mentors, friends, even strangers whose words echo something divine. Test every message by love and truth. Wisdom never contradicts my word. When advice calls you to compromise holiness, it is not of me. When counsel draws you towards service, compassion, and integrity, that is the echo of my spirit. In the multitude of godly counsel, there is safety. Child, do not fear your next step. You do not walk alone. My spirit goes before you to prepare, beside you to support, and behind you to protect. The way of wisdom may not glitter, but it glows. You will know you are on it, not by applause, but by peace. Each step taken in trust builds a bridge toward destiny. Type continue to receive the next part. There will be moments when guidance feels hidden, as though heaven has gone silent. In those times, remember that I am not absent. I am inviting deeper trust. When light fades, do not assume abandonment. It is simply a call to walk by faith, not by sight. Even in the shadows, I remain your shepherd. I'm not testing you to expose weakness, but to reveal strength that you never knew existed within you. What feels like delay is often divine redirection. What seems uncertain is a seed of revelation growing beneath the surface. Every silence has purpose, and every pause has promise. Do not despise confusion. It is the threshold of wisdom. It humbles the intellect so that the heart can hear. The moment you say, Lord, I don't know, you have already begun to learn. For the proud resist instruction, but the humble become instruments of grace. I am teaching you to see beyond logic, to perceive my fingerprints where others see coincidence. Each twist in your story holds a divine message waiting to be revealed. At times I will speak through closed doors. Rejection can be protection, and delay can be mercy. When something does not unfold the way you planned, pause before you lament. Ask instead, what are you redirecting me toward, Lord? I never deny without offering better. My denials are not punishment, they are preservation. The paths I block often lead to bondage. The ones I open lead to breakthrough. Trust the one who sees the end from the beginning. Wisdom flows not from constant motion, but from constant communion. Do not mistake activity for progress. The world will tell you to keep moving. I tell you to keep listening. Sometimes the holiest thing you can do is pause long enough to hear me breathe peace into your spirit. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where refinement happens. I will not allow your destiny to arrive too early nor too late. My timing is perfection wrapped in patience. When you face choices that seem equal in value, seek alignment rather than approval. Ask, does this choice align with the character of Christ within me? I care more about your becoming than your doing. The right decision is not just what benefits you, it is what refines you. I shape your spirit through obedience, even when outcomes remain uncertain. Do not fear missteps made with pure intention. I can correct a moving heart faster than a frozen one. Beloved, wisdom is not earned through intellect, but entrusted through intimacy. Spend time with me and my thoughts will become your instincts. Discernment will become second nature. The more you know my voice, the easier it becomes to recognize counterfeit echoes. I long for you to live so attuned to me that you no longer panic when paths twist. You will simply smile and say, my Father knows the way. For the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. Wisdom is a light that grows brighter with obedience. Each time you act upon what you already know, I will reveal more. I do not waste revelation on those unwilling to move. When you honor the small instructions, you prepare for larger missions. Faithfulness in the little opens the gates to divine responsibility. You were never called to figure out everything, only to follow faithfully. The rest unfolds in grace. So when life confuses you, pause, breathe, and invite me to speak. I may not answer in thunder, but you will feel my whisper guiding your spirit. I am shaping you into one who walks not by opinion, but by revelation. There is no circumstance too tangled that my wisdom cannot unravel. I am the light that interprets your darkness, and the hand that turns confusion into clarity. Stay near, for wisdom flows strongest where surrender lives. He who trusts in the Lord will never be led astray. You are growing wiser each day, not because life gets easier, but because you are learning to see through my eyes. This is divine maturity, to see disappointment as redirection, uncertainty as invitation, and every ending as a hidden beginning. Walk in that light, beloved, and you will never lose your way again. For I am your way, your truth, and your life. Type continue to receive the next part. Beloved soul, renewal is not a single moment. It is the rhythm of my mercy breathing through every heartbeat. Transformation begins the instant you surrender what you cannot carry and allow me to create something new from what was broken. I do not discard what is wounded. I redeem it. The cracks you hide become the windows through which my light enters. Behold, I make all things new. You have walked through valleys where your voice trembled and your faith waned. Yet here you stand, still breathing, still chosen. Every scar upon your soul is a testimony that grace has been at work, even in the silence. You may think renewal means forgetting, but true transformation remembers differently. It remembers the pain without being owned by it. It remembers the tears, but recognizes them now as the water that nourished new life. I have been rewriting your story in every sigh of surrender. When you thought I was distant, I was rebuilding the foundation beneath your spirit. Renewal often happens beneath awareness, roots strengthening in hidden soil. You prayed for deliverance, and I gave you depth. You asked for relief, and I offered resilience. For my aim is not to make you comfortable, but complete. Endurance produces character, and character births hope. The world teaches you to avoid pain, but I teach you to transform it. Every heartbreak can become holy ground when laid before me. Do not despise the ashes. Within them lie the ingredients of new creation. When fire refines gold, it is not cruelty. It is purity emerging. So too with your trials. I am not punishing, I am perfecting. What the enemy meant for harm, I turn into healing. Let go of the old version of yourself that survived out of fear. That version was necessary for a season, but cannot carry the weight of your new calling. You are being remade in strength and tenderness, courage and compassion. Transformation is not pretending to be unbroken. It is choosing to love again after breaking. I'm not asking for perfection, only permission. Let me enter the rooms you still keep locked. There, I will replace shame with song. Child, I know the exhaustion that follows long battles. You have carried responsibilities that bent your back and hopes that seemed too heavy to sustain. Lay them down for a moment and breathe. Renewal begins in rest. You are not falling behind by pausing. You are aligning with eternity. Even the strongest river needs still water to reflect the sky. Let your heart mirror my peace once more. There are patterns you once relied on that now crumble. Let them. Transformation cannot occur while you cling to what was. I am inviting you to release control and step into trust. Each act of surrender is an opening for resurrection. You are not losing yourself. You are unveiling who you truly are beneath the dust of survival. The old is gone, the new has come. Renewal does not erase your humanity. It redeems it. I love every shade of your becoming, the laughter, the weariness, the tears that water your prayers. You are not behind. You are blooming on divine schedule. Every delay you curse is often grace guarding you until your roots are strong enough for growth. When the bud resists opening, the gardener waits, not out of neglect but care. I am that gardener. I will not rush what needs to unfold in beauty. Transformation is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is the quiet shift, from despair to determination, from bitterness to forgiveness. Heaven celebrates not only miracles of sight, but also the unseen victories within your heart. Every time you choose grace over resentment, heaven applauds. Each act of kindness toward yourself and others is evidence that renewal is alive within you. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Type continue to receive the next part. Renewal continues when you begin to see pain as preparation. Every disappointment that once bruised your faith was training your soul to recognize what truly satisfies. I have allowed some things to fade so that you might hunger for what lasts. The losses you mourn are not punishments, they are pruning, making space for greater fruit to grow. Those who plant in tears will reap with joy. You once begged me to change your circumstances, and instead, I began changing you. For transformation is not the rearranging of surroundings, but the renewing of sight. When you look through eyes of grace, you will discover that nothing has been wasted. Even the mistakes you regret have been repurposed as stepping stones toward wisdom. I do not rewrite your history, I redeem it. I gather every moment, every failure, every tear, and I craft from them a mosaic of glory. You will see one day how intricately I have woven redemption through your entire story. Child, you have tried to rebuild on your own, but transformation cannot be manufactured by willpower. It is not something you perform, it is something you allow. Surrender is the gate through which renewal enters. Let my spirit do the work within you. I am shaping you not through control, but through communion. You will not recognize yourself when you emerge, not because you've become someone else, but because you will finally resemble who I always saw. I am the potter, you are the clay. When you look in the mirror and see the remnants of past sorrow, remember that I see strength. I see a heart that still beats with purpose, even after being shattered. I see the resilience that angels marvel at. I see the reflection of my Son in the way you forgive, endure, and rise again. Do not despise your process. Beauty takes time when it is eternal. Transformation is not a sprint, it is a sacred unfolding. As you yield to me, I will awaken dormant dreams and restore your passion for living. The same fire that refined you will now fuel you. The same tears that once fell in anguish will now water seeds of joy. You will rise not just healed, but whole. And when you open your mouth, your testimony will set others free. For what I restore in you, I intend to release through you. Your healing is not the end, it is the beginning of your ministry. I am teaching you to walk in the rhythm of grace, to move with peace instead of pressure. You no longer need to strive to prove your worth. The world may demand performance, but I delight in presence. When you simply abide, I transform your being into a vessel of blessing. Others will sense my fragrance through your gentleness, your patience, your quiet strength. Transformation always reveals me in you. Let your light so shine before others that they may see and glorify your Father in heaven. Beloved, every morning you wake is proof that I'm not finished. Each sunrise is my invitation to begin again. You need not remain bound by yesterday's failures. Grace renews the canvas daily. Lift your gaze from what was and behold what is becoming. The future I'm crafting for you is radiant, painted with colors of mercy and purpose. You are not merely surviving. You are becoming the miracle someone else has prayed for. Soon you will look back and recognize that the wilderness was not punishment, but preparation. The nights you thought were wasted were actually wombs of creation. I was not silent. I was sculpting. You were not abandoned. You were being anointed. For every broken piece surrendered to me, I have prepared a crown of glory. The season of renewal is upon you. Rise and walk in the newness of life. Type continue to receive the next part. Beloved child, before the foundations of the world were set, I spoke your name into existence. Your calling was not born from circumstance, but from eternity. You were crafted with intention, every detail of your being designed for a holy purpose. You are not here by chance. You are the manifestation of a divine idea, breathed into time so that my glory could take form through your life. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Do not underestimate the magnitude of your existence. Within you are gifts that heaven has invested to impact generations. Your talents, your voice, your compassion, they are instruments tuned to the melody of my plan. You may see yourself as ordinary, but I see you as essential. My kingdom advances through willing hearts, not perfect ones. Whom I call, I also equip. You have spent seasons questioning your worth, wondering if your life carries weight in my grand design. Yet every moment you chose integrity over convenience. Every act of love unseen by others resounded in heaven like a symphony. I take delight in your quiet obedience, for it is the foundation upon which destiny is built. The world may not applaud you, but eternity records every step of faith. The unseen deeds of today become the divine legacy of tomorrow. I have placed within you a voice meant to echo light into darkened spaces. The battles you've endured were not to break you, but to prepare you for greater influence. The pain that once silenced you will become the platform from which you speak healing. I am turning your scars into scrolls, letters written by mercy to be read by many. Your testimony is a bridge for others to cross into hope. Destiny is not a destination. It is the unfolding of divine partnership. You and I walk this road together, shaping the story as you surrender each step. Do not rush what I am building in you. Great callings require great preparation. The waiting is not wasted. It is me refining your foundation so it can carry the weight of glory. Trust the process, for even delay is sacred in my design. Many compare paths, believing destiny to be a race. But your journey is not measured against another's pace. I have written a timeline unique to you, with moments of ascent and seasons of stillness, all interwoven by grace. The calling on your life cannot be stolen, only surrendered. Hold it close and walk faithfully. When I open doors, no one can close them, for my gifts and my calling are irrevocable. Sometimes the path of purpose will require courage to walk alone. Not everyone will understand the vision I've placed in your heart. Do not shrink to fit where faith calls you to stand tall. Loneliness and obedience is better than popularity and compromise. The world applauds noise, but heaven honors faithfulness. Stand firm, even when misunderstood. I see the sacrifice, and I will reward it in my time. I have hidden treasures within you that adversity alone can uncover. Pressure reveals purpose. Just as olive oil flows only when the fruit is pressed, so too your anointing increases when you endure. The weight you carry is not punishment, it is evidence of promise. For where there is calling, there will also be refining. Yet fear not. I will never leave you in the fire without joining you within it. I am with you even to the end of the age. Type continue to receive the next part. Your calling will not always roar. It often whispers. It is not defined by stages or titles, but by moments when you choose faith over fear. Each act of quiet obedience shapes eternity more than grand displays ever could. The world may never see the prayers you prayed or the sacrifices you made, but heaven measures greatness by surrender. To be called is to be chosen for love, not applause. There will be days when the vision I gave you feels too heavy to carry. You will question, Lord, why me? And I will answer, because you said yes when others turned away. Your willingness has moved heaven more than your strength ever could. I do not seek perfection. I seek hearts that listen, hands that serve, and spirits that trust. Do not despise small beginnings, for every destiny starts with a single faithful step. He who is faithful with little will be entrusted with much. You were never meant to imitate another's calling. Comparison is the thief of clarity. I did not create you to echo someone else's voice, but to express a frequency of heaven unique to you. When you try to become what others expect, you dim the light I placed within. Be unapologetically faithful to what I've assigned to you. The anointing you carry fits no one else. It was measured precisely for your mission. You were fearfully and wonderfully made for this very moment. Destiny unfolds in obedience, one act of faith at a time. Do not wait for perfect conditions to begin. The miracle happens in motion. When I told Peter to step out of the boat, the water did not solidify until his foot moved. Faith creates foundation where none existed before. Each step you take with me builds what future generations will stand upon. Walk boldly. Heaven is waiting to partner with your courage. At times, your calling will stretch you beyond comfort. It will ask for trust when resources seem scarce and perseverance when applause fades. Yet it is in those moments that you will discover my strength within your weakness. I have placed rivers in your desert, provision in your drought, and purpose in your pain. The calling that costs you nothing will change no one, but the one that costs you everything will transform multitudes. To carry destiny is to carry both cross and crown. Do not fear stepping into rooms where you feel unqualified. I specialize in using the unlikely to display my glory. Moses stuttered, yet I made him my voice. David was overlooked, yet I crowned him king. Mary was ordinary, yet I birthed salvation through her. You too are part of this divine pattern. I will fill every gap with grace. When you move, heaven moves with you. Your destiny is not only about what you will accomplish, but who you will become in the process. I am less interested in achievements and more in alignment. You are my workmanship, created for good works that were prepared long before you took your first breath. Walk in them, not as a servant striving to earn favor, but as a child walking in inheritance. Your calling is not a burden. It is a love story between Creator and creation. For you were created to glorify me through your being, not just your doing. When fear whispers that you are not enough, remember that destiny is not sustained by ability, but by anointing. My power is perfected in your weakness. Where your strength ends, my grace begins. I am the author and finisher of your purpose. All I ask is your yes, your willingness to rise each day and say, Lord, use me again. Every yes becomes a seed that heaven multiplies. For many are called, but few choose to answer daily. So step forward, my chosen one. The world is waiting for the light you carry. Do not hide what I have placed within you. This is your appointed time, your divine hour to reflect my glory in your generation. Walk in purpose, speak with boldness, love without fear. The call is not coming, it has already begun. Arise and shine, for your light has come. Type continue to receive the next part. Beloved, thanksgiving is the language of heaven. When you breathe words of gratitude, the atmosphere around you shifts. Gratitude opens the door for my presence to dwell richly within you. I inhabit the praises of my people. Wherever there is thanks, there I am. In every season, give thanks, for this is my will for you in Christ Jesus. You have learned to pray for miracles, but I am teaching you to notice them. Every sunrise, every breath, every moment of mercy is a gift wrapped in my love. When you stop to give thanks, you see that you have never lived a day without grace. The simple act of gratitude transforms ordinary life into sacred encounter. Gratitude turns survival into worship. There were times you wondered if your praise mattered when tears filled your eyes. Know this, my child, the praise born from pain is the most fragrant offering of all. When you worship while weary, angels stand in reverence. Heaven bends low when broken hearts still bless my name. I do not seek perfection in your voice, but honesty in your soul. Your tears are notes in the symphony of worship. Gratitude is not ignoring sorrow. It is declaring that love is greater than loss. It is looking at the valley and still saying, God is good. When you give thanks in difficulty, you align your spirit with eternal truth. Thanksgiving is warfare. It silences the enemy who feeds on complaint. When you thank me in the storm, you remind darkness that your faith is not for sale. Rejoice always, and peace will guard your heart. Worship, my beloved, is not confined to melody. It is movement. Your daily choice is in rhythm with my will. When you forgive, you worship. When you serve, you sing. When you love the unlovable, you lift holy hands even without music. Every act of humility becomes incense before my throne. You were not made merely to sing about me. You were made to reveal me. Your life is a living song. Come to me not only with requests, but with remembrance. Recall the times I carried you through valleys unseen. Count blessings until your fears lose count. Gratitude reorders perspective. It teaches your soul to see abundance even in lack. The more thankful you become, the more aware you are of my faithfulness. In thanksgiving, your spirit breathes freely again. There is power in worship that rises from weakness. When Paul and Silas sang in prison, chains fell not only from them, but from everyone around them. Your worship carries that same authority. Praise breaks prisons, both visible and invisible. When your lips declare my goodness despite the weight of circumstance, you invite heaven to invade earth. Where there is praise, there is freedom. Beloved, do not wait for everything to make sense before you lift your voice. Gratitude is the bridge that carries you from confusion to clarity. The more you thank me, the clearer my hand becomes in your story. Worship opens the eyes of the heart to see purpose in pain and beauty in becoming. Even unanswered prayers are shaping your faith into something eternal. Faith sings before the dawn. Type continue to receive the next part. When you choose to praise even while waiting, you declare to heaven and hell alike that your trust is unshakable. The enemy cannot comprehend gratitude. It confuses him because thanksgiving thrives where despair once ruled. Every thank you becomes a weapon of light that pierces through darkness. You may not see it, but your gratitude shifts realms. Worship is warfare wrapped in wonder. I long for your worship not because I need affirmation, but because you need alignment. When you exalt me above fear, your perspective returns to truth. Worry shrinks when wonder grows. Gratitude turns the eyes from what is missing to what is miraculous. In praise, you remember that I am bigger than any battle and that victory has already been written. The Lord inhabits the praises of his people. You have songs only sorrow could write. Let them rise. Do not silence your story out of shame. What once brought you to your knees will one day bring others to worship. I redeem every melody born in darkness and turn it into light for someone still searching. When you worship from your scars, heaven calls it beautiful. Your praise becomes prophecy for another's breakthrough. Learn to thank me not only for what I have done, but for who I am. Gratitude anchored in outcome will waver. Gratitude rooted in identity will endure. When you thank me simply because I am good, peace will never leave you. I am not good only when prayers are answered. I am good because I never stop loving. And love is the foundation upon which every blessing rests. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His mercy endures forever. True worship is not performance, it is posture. It is the heart bowed before the throne, even when the body stands in silence. When you lift your hands, you are not reaching for answers. You are surrendering control. Every raised hand, every whispered hallelujah tells the universe that love has won. Worship reshapes the atmosphere within and around you. The more you worship, the more heaven becomes visible on earth. Beloved, remember that gratitude is not the end of prayer, it is the beginning of miracles. When Jesus broke the bread, he gave thanks before multiplying it. Thanksgiving always precedes abundance. When you thank me for what little remains, you open the door for increase. Gratitude transforms scarcity into sufficiency. Faith says thank you before the blessing arrives. As you worship, chains of discouragement will fall. Joy will rise again from ashes long cold. The more you give thanks, the lighter your soul becomes, until gratitude is no longer something you do, but something you are. You were created to live in continual praise, a walking sanctuary, a vessel of light. Let your gratitude ripple through conversations, decisions, and daily moments. Make your life a song that never ends. When you do not know what to pray, whisper thank you. When life overwhelms, breathe hallelujah. These words are keys that unlock my presence again and again. You will find that gratitude is not the result of joy. It is the source of it. The more you thank, the more joy multiplies until peace flows like a river from within you. Gratitude is heaven's rhythm beating in your chest. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Type continue to receive the next part. Beloved soul, the journey has been long, but you have not walked alone. Every chapter, joy and sorrow, silence and song, was guided by my unseen hand. You have passed through fire and water, yet here you stand, refined like gold. This is not the end of your story, it is the unveiling of new glory. He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. You have learned to trust when answers delayed, to worship when pain remained, to love when love was costly. All of these moments have shaped you into one who reflects heaven's endurance. Every scar has become sacred, every tear collected in my hand. You thought you were breaking, but you were being built. You thought the season was ending, but I was preparing a beginning. Behold, the old has passed away, the new has come. Completion is not about perfection, it is about peace. It is the rest that comes when you realize that I have been faithful through it all. You do not need to rush toward the next thing. Breathe. You are standing in the fulfillment of prayers you once whispered in the dark. This moment right here is proof that hope endures. Surely goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life. I know the world can still feel heavy, but lift your eyes. Eternity is nearer than you think. The same power that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. Death does not have the final word. Love does. Every ending in me is only a transition into greater life. You are an eternal being walking through temporary seasons. Walk with confidence, for heaven already celebrates your perseverance. I have prepared a place for you. When fear whispers again, remind your heart that I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. The one who carried you this far will not leave you halfway. Even when you cannot trace my hand, trust my heart. Faith does not deny the storm. It declares that the storm is not stronger than the Savior. Rest now in the assurance that every promise still stands and every prayer still rises. I am faithful to complete what I have spoken. You have come to understand that hope is not a fragile wish. It is a living force, anchored in resurrection. Hope whispers even in silence. God is not finished. It holds your gaze steady when chaos tempts you to turn away. Hope reminds your soul that the story ends in victory, not defeat. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. Let your life now become a testimony of endurance and grace. Walk gently but boldly, shining light into weary places. Speak peace into anxious hearts, kindness into bitterness, and faith into fear. You carry eternity within you. Let it overflow into every word and action. The world does not need perfection from you. It needs presence. Be the reflection of the one who made you whole. Let your light so shine before others that they may see and glorify your Father in heaven. As this chapter closes, know that nothing is wasted, not a breath, not a tear, not a single act of faith. Heaven remembers everything done in love. The seeds you have sown will outlive you, bearing fruit for generations you may never see. This is how eternity works. It multiplies the smallest act of obedience into endless impact. Well done, good and faithful servant. Now lift your heart in gratitude. You made it through nights that once felt endless. You have seen mercy meet you every morning. You have felt the breath of heaven revive what you thought was dead. Give thanks not just for what has been restored, but for what is yet to come. For eternity is not far. It is unfolding even now within your soul. To him be glory forever and ever. Amen. Before you go, take this truth with you. Your story matters. Someone else will find healing in your words, courage in your faith, and hope in your endurance. Share what God has done for you. Speak light into the darkness of another. Be the reminder that grace is still alive and that love still wins. Freely you have received, freely give. If this message has touched your heart, let it live beyond you. Share it so others may find the same peace. Leave a word of gratitude or prayer below. Your faith might be the answer to someone else's cry. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and walk with us as we continue this journey of light, prayer, and renewal together. Like, share, and let your Amen echo across the world. The Lord bless you and keep you, shine his face upon you, and give you peace, now and forevermore. End.